Hey everyone, it's your girl Syleena Johnson, and there's nothing like a feeling of joy on a snow white Christmas. So stay tuned to Rolling Out this holidays. Happy holidays.
All right, everybody. All right. Welcome back to Rolling Out. My name is Rashad Milligan. We are here in Atlanta, but just over Zoom talking to Syleena Johnson. Syleena, just like a seatbelt, saved my life. Syleena, how are you doing this holiday season?
I'm fantastic. I'm blessed and highly favored.
I heard that.
How are you?
Oh, I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. A couple weeks from Christmas, the spirit's getting ready. Mom's got the
Right.
tree up. Pop is out of town, but once he gets back in town, he says we're gonna get a tree for the last 10 days of December before Christmas.
Yeah.
Whatever floats your boat, Pops. But you have three, not one, not two, but three Christmas projects dropping this month.
Yeah.
Just kind of what's all going on with these three projects that you have going for the holidays.
Well, they're out now. One album is called Santa Games. The next one is called All I Want for Christmas. The third one is called My Christmas Fiance. And they are all attached to movies. They are in alignment with sound. They are soundtracks, basically. And the movies are coming out pretty soon. I don't have the exact dates of the movies, but they're on Hulu and Tubi. So they're Christmas movies. And it's a project filled with some of your favorite artists in R&B and some new amazing artists in R&B and hip hop that you don't know. And we're in an era where we sometimes, and I hate to say it, we hear the same voices over and over again. It's getting weird and boring. So what we wanted to do was bring, it's time for the next generation of voices. And so we wanted, on this project to be able to bring forth, to do just that, bring some new voices. But we had to use some of your favorite voices, not use some, but we had to bless these albums with some of your favorite voices so that the newer voices could have an appropriate push, and so people could pay attention and recognize that there are, newer voices. So perfect time. The new year is coming. Everybody's looking for new stuff and new voices and new everything. So it's perfect timing. The albums are amazing. It's pretty much my first Christmas project ever. Snow White Christmas was my first Christmas song I've ever written. So just a fantastic album, and it totally has put me in the Christmas spirit. Yeah, you see my tree is up. I got my stairs over there decorated. Like I just been in Christmas heaven, so, and I had to, because, when you're an artist, I recorded in my house. I have a studio in my home. So when you're an artist, you have to create an environment that is conducive to what you're doing. So it's just been a whole bunch of fun. And I'm just in all this Christmas cheer because it's too much bad stuff going on in the world right now. And we have got to flip the script on our energy because it's getting weird out here.
Right. Right, for sure, Syleena. I want to ask you about like you said, the thing about the artists kind of being shared. Someone made a tweet about this when recent album kind of in hip hop came out, and they're like, "I'm tired of Don Toliver, Travis Scott, Drake, 21 Savage on everything. Like, can we get somebody?" So I just wanted to ask you, has it always kind of been like that in the music industry? Was it like that in 04? Was it like that in 02, 03?
No, when I came in the game, it was such a variety of artists. And artists were accepted in abundance on all platforms. It was more, now there are some platforms that still, shut us out, but radio wise, it was much more variety of music. It was many more hip hop artists, so much hip hop. If you just think about 2000s, right? We had an emergence of like 5 different types of hip hop. You had the Dirty South. You had New York hip hop, you know what I'm saying, which really kicked us all off. Then you had Chi-Town had its hip hop with Twista leading the way. Then you had like Texas. So you had what's that when they turned it into it's real slow? Chopped and Screwed. You had Chopped and Screwed. Then you had Luke in them. You had that kind of thing. Then you had man, it's just so Baltimore, that type of, like the DC area, that type Philly, you know, that type of Philly was a whole vibe. And then Philly turned into you know, Philly turned into a whole movement in terms of neo soul and all of that. So then you had neo soul, you had R&B, yeah, but you know, you had so many different levels and elements to music just within the Black community, just within our culture. You know, now I just feel like it's very watered down, and it's very it's not as special anymore because there's so much access to every single thing. And so but not in a good way. You know, it is a good thing for artists, for independent artists, because the industry has gone independent. So it's a great thing for us to be able to promote our music, but the music business still picks and chooses who they want to be on the bigger platforms. And it hurts the genre because it stifles, you know, the experience for the listeners. And so you will get tweets and you get the people like, is it anybody else that know how to think, you know, what do I need to go to a gospel concert to get a note, you know, just to get a different note, you know? So it leaves you in that space of having to go find and search artists. So with this Christmas project, we wanted to take the guesswork out of that. There are so many artists on this project that are so dope. I mean, you listen to the project and you just be like, man, these people new, like they not out already, because they're so good. They're just that good. And the truth is, they've been singing for years and just no one has, you know, really picked them up like they should be. So
How do you feel about just the general state of you know, kind of, I hate the R&B, but like how do you feel about the general state of R&B? Like you know, when you do have artists like the Alex Isleys, when you do have artists like the India Shans, and kind of like the people that you really have to dig for, as you were saying, to hear quality R&B music, you know, just how do you feel about the general state of the genre?
I don't know, you know, Black music is tricky because it's always been something that we've had to fight, you know, we've had to rage against the system, you know, so to speak, especially I won't even say especially R&B. Here's what I kind of think happened and in terms of evolution of our music. So in the beginning, before hip hop kind of like just took over, there was R&B. You know, if you go all the way from, there was no hip hop. There was no hip hop. You know, Kool Herc and them had not started yet. So before that, it was like Marvin Gaye, Aretha, you know, that era, Donny Hathaway, you know what I'm saying? Tammy Terrell, you know, you just had the Supremes. You had an era of multitude of Black music that all kind of same kind of concepts. You have blues as well, but it was pretty much R&B and blues. And you know, white people made the white radio or mainstream radio took R&B and made it big. You know what I'm saying? And then it kind of merged into pop and stuff like that. But as music evolved along, you know, along the way, R&B became popular. It was the most popular. It was the Destiny's Child era and all of those, you know, all of us, right? Then here comes my era, and you know, so R&B was popping. Then, well, before that, hip hop was emerging. I think hip hop was already emerging, you know, because it was about culture and street dancing. That's like back when breaking, you know, remember breaking the movie, breaking and Beat Street and stuff. So like those movies started to really crush groove. That's when hip hop started emerging, even though it was already good and going because Kool Herc and them kind of kicked it off in, you know, in terms of DJing. So hip hop started emerging, and then R&B and hip hop were using each other, because hip hop started using R&B to get more popular by putting R&B artists on the hooks. Well, what had happened then, hip hop got so popular that it overshadowed R&B, right? So then R&B started using hip hop artists on its records to become popular. And then what happened there is that the industry became so cheap because it started to lose money. And artists started becoming independent. They started really going independent. So now, in order to save money, hip hop artists started singing on their own records, right? So now you just got any old body just singing down on records, you know, with the Nellies and the Drakes and all, you know, and they're not really singers, but the consumer ear is not really privy or not really attracted in such a way to, all the time. They don't really need all that to feel a record, and that's the truth. So now the hip hop artists, Nelly and all them, they can sing their own hooks. They don't need no R&B. So now R&B is in a place of its own. You know what I'm saying? So now, in order for R&B to make a forefront, and the younger generation who's already looking at hip hop as being the way to go, they start singing like the hip hop artists on the rap records. So now you have a bunch of artists that are not really singing, they're just vibing, just because they're trying to make their records be as close to the hip hop artists so that they can be, in the mainstream, so they can blow up. So they're not really taking it back or even caring to talk about. I mean, you got R&B songs talking about strip clubs. That ain't what we do. You know what I'm saying? So, and talking about drugs and all that. Well, we did. White people talking about drugs. They've been talking about drugs for a long time, but that was rock. So the evolution is very interesting, how money and capitalism in convoluted or diluted the genre of Black music. It seemed like it kept evolving to keep up with the money, to keep up with the capitalistic part of the music business. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that was always supposed to be the evolution, but I do feel like it was money motivated. So that's where we are now. And that's why some ears are suffering, because the actual soul wants the soul. You see what I'm saying? That y'all been getting, knockoff food. Some of your food just it say Kroger, but it's really not. You feel me? You go to Kroger and then it'd be like Butterball turkey sausages, and then it'd be like Kroger sausages. So y'all been getting Kroger sausages. Y'all haven't been really. Some people can tell the difference. Some people don't care. They like, listen, these Kroger sausages taste just as good as the Butterball.
So Syleena, two quick things, because we could go on about this all, but we only have a couple more minutes. Couple things. Childish Gambino, rapper, right?
Okay.
Made one of the biggest R&B records of the past decade. There's no denying that. So first question, Childish Gambino, is he a singer? Second question to you is, do you inadvertently blame yourself? Because this is kind of my theory on it. Just looking at it. Okay, so it was like, right? So hip hop was on the come up, right? Early 2000s. All falls down happens. That becomes the formula. And then, so rap goes from gangsta rap, 50 Cent, right? First Kanye, 07, or Ye, excuse me. 50 Cent versus Ye. Ye wins. Hip hop goes in the direction of Ye, which is a little softer, a little more in tune with your emotions,
reality,
a little focus on relationships and love. That overshadows R&B. That's my take on it. That's kind of my perspective on everything like that. So when you hear that, do you inadvertently be like, dang, I contributed to hip hop overshadowing R&B, and that's getting to the place that we're at right now? And then the first question, Childish Gambino, like where do you kind of put him in the box of rappers that sing? Because he did make Redbone, and he did make a whole singing album.
Okay, so rappers like Drake and Childish Gambino, there are always people that are anomalies. There are always people that actually know how to sing for real, like R. Kelly. People that know how to sing for real in real life, and they know how to rap just, equally as good. There are people out here in the world that are just talented like that, and that have always that was always going to be their plight. You know what I'm saying? But when I speak of that, the evolution that I spoke of just earlier, I'm talking about, how you just spoke of how people start riding a wave of stuff. I'm talking about those people like, oh, this was working, we're going to do that. You see what I'm saying? Like, and Nelly, if you think about it, Nelly has always been rap singing. He never can. The very first down, baby, oh, baby, that's been him forever. You see what I'm saying? So he and even like in the Dirty South, like remember, girl, you look good once you back that thing up. He always sang all of his hooks. So did Master P. They just really they just really did their own thing. Because that was the start of the independent. That's when the independent, because Master P blew up selling out of the trunk. So that was the start of the independent realm as well. However, there are artists like the Childish Gambinos, Drake, Nelly, the R. Kellys of the world. Chris Brown could rap too, if he want to, you know what I'm saying? So can Trey Songz. So there's a lot of artists that are just like that. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing you can do with them. They just hybrids, you know. I think Nicki Minaj, I think she sings a little bit. Eve used to sing. Oh, Queen Latifah. Queen Latifah is a full-blown singer and rapper.
So you say, so long story short, you like, nah, I don't take the blame for hip hop overshadowing.
I don't do it.
Okay, there it is.
The music industry did that. I ain't do that. I did what I was supposed to do. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No, I heard it. Hey, man, come on now. You changed the whole, man, come on.
I never looked at it that way.
No. But I was just like really saluting you because you did your thing. Everything is a classic, one of the greatest songs ever. But Syleena, we're out of time. Can I ask it? Can I ask it, Syleena? Can I ask it?
What is it?
Can I ask it, Syleena? With with you being, on Donda, everything like that. I just wanted to know, kind of where have you been with kind of Ye, like, and everything like that. Obviously, he's kind of been, just in the headlines, in the news. I just wanted to know where you kind of stood right there. If you're just like, kind of just supporting him as a brother away from his opinions and everything like that. Just kind of where do you stand where that is?
Well, I have to tell you, on Cocktails with the Queens, I've spoken out about this several times. It is official. I have deleted myself out of the group chat. I no longer want to be involved. Anything that pops up on the internet to say Kanye, this, that, and the third, to keep me out of it. I don't want any parts of it. I don't like what's going on, just in general. It's not just what he's saying, but it's also how he's being exploited by the press. If we don't know whether or not if he's never spoken like this before, and then all of a sudden he's speaking like this now, it lends itself to be able to draw the conclusion that something else is happening other than him just being hateful. You feel me? So at some point, we as media outlets have to say, do we entertain somebody that could possibly be going through something mental? Or do we keep doubling down on it, making everybody get mad about it, making everybody feel worse about it, and making it worse than what it might be? It could just be a thing is a thing, So for me, I delete myself from the group chat because, I just feel like sometimes you got to step back. Like it's too much going on for you to be like, it's this or it's that. You know what I'm saying? It's too weird for me. It's too odd for me. And of course, I've worked with Kanye. Kanye is a musical genius. He is a musical monster, and he always will be. And I hope that one day he gets back to that, because that is the core of who he is. And he's a great guy. He's never been mean to me or never been bad to me. And no, I don't like anything that he's saying, right? I don't like none of the stuff he's saying because I'm Black. We all feel weird, but I just don't want to deal with it anymore. Like, I don't want to see it no more. I don't want to talk about it no more. I'm in the press too. Like, I wake up and need my stories. I'm like, and again, So I just delete myself out of the group chat, and I wish him well. I mean, I don't wish him well like that. What I mean is, I'll be praying for him and hoping that whatever is going on, that God works it out.
So, Syleena,
all I got.
I know that's a horrible thing, and you get all the time. I apologize. I was just doing my job, but I appreciate the way you answered it. This interview has been amazing. 10 Games, My Christmas Fiance, All I Want for Christmas, all streaming platforms right now. The movie's coming out at some point.
We just don't know the dates, but all 3 movies are coming.
But Syleena, thank you so much. Rolling out, Rashad Milligan. Until next time, you all take care of yourselves.
Peace.